Welcome back to Irish Strength. So we're in the run-up to official Strongman Ireland's Open Championships coming up in a couple of weeks. We're going to have a free live stream for it, so keep watching out for that. However, we're doing some interviews with the athletes that are going to be taking part on the day. We're privileged to be joined by Kyle McGowan. Thanks very much for joining us, Kyle.
My pleasure. Can't wait now. Talk about anything Strongman related.
It's always fun, isn't it? So you were saying just before we came on air that you've just finished a stone training session. That's obviously one of the events that's coming up. How's it feeling? How is the stones going?
Pretty good. Just trying to figure out on how to attack it. Either a quick 3 or 4 and then leave the last one where I give myself a couple of seconds to read hacky, or just go full send and try and blast out all of them. Just depending. I think it'll be either the second last or last event, so they're pretty gassed. So I'm just going to see how it does in the day. But first 3 or 4 seems to be moving. That'll be the last one. Then the 180 will be the big challenge. Then it'll be whoever lifts the air will do massive points.
With the other events that are coming up, so obviously you haven't had a huge amount of time to prepare for this. Like, I think in total you've had maybe 6 weeks running for this. How have the other events gone for you so far? How's the training going?
We did actually for the first time in a while. I think everybody's noticed it's actually starting to improve. Back in the suit and stuff. I think on the day I will be happy with 3 or 4 reps with a 320. It'll be a massive rep PB as well for me as well. The yoke will be probably on all events will be one of my better events. It's moving steady as well. Log, if I hit the 140 log, I will see what the jumps is again, but if it goes towards 150 or above, I'll probably call it. It's just my log, my press would be the weaker event now at the minute. Was my deadlift, but now you can say my deadlift's starting to come through. And the loading is very taxing just. And I've been struggling, but it's just getting that conditioning right. But I think the loading do a good cake and the 2 sandbags will be good points. And then if you can finish it, I don't even think you have long to do. I think you've only got 60 seconds, maybe 75. I can't remember now off the top of my head.
Again, I'm not sure myself. I should really know this, but I think it's 60 seconds. It is quite a quick run, to be fair.
Well, that's what I say. It's only over 10 metres. I've been training of Matthew McGowan, my coach too. He's doing it. He's been training for 15 as well. So it's just that extra 5 metres helping with that extra bit of conditioning. So if hopefully I would like to get the least that higher and move it as far as I could. If I don't complete it, there'll still be good points to get it halfway even down.
Now we've seen you compete at Ireland's over the last couple of years, over the last few years, and what you're saying there is what we've seen, where the moving events are actually really strong for you, but the static events are ones that you've really had to work on. With this comp coming up, is it a case of just minimizing the damage that you sort of feel off those static ones, or do you feel a lot stronger with the static moves now?
I do. This prep's been moving pretty well. Like you said earlier, it's only been a short, brief prep, but everyone's the same. There's a massive pressers. Matthew pressed 165 the other day. Jack Hargan's a massive presser. The Doig ones, they're all going to be competing for a top press. I'd say there could be a lot of 170 or so plus logs. Gare, he's looking like he was telling me he's looking 150 plus. So there'll be a lot of big pressing still. Could be a new, wouldn't say it'd be far off there, but there's a couple of boys could push it. To try and maybe beat Michael Downey's one. If they had to, I'd say there's maybe 1 or 2 boys that's capable of 180 or so plus for definite. Like Daniel could have too, but I think he's not doing it now. He's pulled out.
Daniel's dropped. Sean Diver, of course, isn't doing it, and Pa. I don't know if he was ever going to be doing it. I don't know if it worked in with his schedule. At the same time, there's a little bit of they could turn up on the day, all 3 of them. You never actually know.
But Sean Diver's doing actual deadlifts with a suit on, and that's a dreadful event, and I wouldn't be doing it unless I do it. I've seen him do it the other day, and I just messaged him. I sent him a couple of eyeballs. There's a wee test that he saved me right back, but he never gave no He never gave me anything back if he was doing it or not. But I wouldn't be doing axle deadlifts unless I had to do them because they're a terrible event.
I feel like we'll find out maybe an hour before the competition.
Well, keep an eye on the car park and see who comes up.
Now, for yourself, how did you actually get into Strongman originally?
I trained in David Fox's gym in Derry Pro Gym for years. It was a bodybuilding gym. I worked in there and just loved the aspects of training. I trained with powerlifters and bodybuilders, and then I started getting stronger. But I never had any real reason to do bodybuilding. I loved everything about it, the training wise. Going to the gym, getting a good pump, and looking good, feeling good, but I never had I'm going to step on stage, and David would say, I should do first timers, you should do under 21s, and it was just never my thing. And then Dave Warner at the time was still on the bodybuilding scene, and David Fox actually said to me, why don't you try Strongman? Dave Warner runs Renegade at the time. That was my first show. It was a Renegade New Blood, or First Blood. And then eventually we started traveling the RV1. Me and Matthew started training Strongman then. And we started going to the RV1. So it's pretty good. We're actually going back now in 2 weeks' time because I haven't gone back since. So it'll be a nice sort of trip up memory lane as well, the old stomping ground as well. So I'm looking forward to it.
5 years within Strongman is a relatively short period of time. How excited are you to actually be at a competition where you can qualify to go to a Giants live show over in the UK, and then possibly even qualify for the Worlds? Like, it's an incredible route for Irish athletes.
The first thing I thought was, I wonder if we're going to get to use the same stuff that they used last week in the Britons. Are we going to get to use the big axle? Because I thought that was cool looking. I've used their big yoke before because it's been an RV1. And I thought this is amazing that the top athletes that I follow on Instagram and watch on TV, I'll actually be using the same equipment as them. And it's going from like wee small gym, car park training, your first couple of comps, then being an Ireland's Strongest Man on TV, and RT and all as well. That was mad. Seeing myself the first time ever on TV, I was like, that's weird. No, it's very eye-opening, like, because you just go to the, like, I love training. I love the whole aspect of it. But like, people go, geez, you're some size, what do you do? And you'd say, we'll do Strongman. What's that? It's not massive yet, but in the circle it is in Ireland, it's slowly growing and it's great. It's like yourselves, Matt, and everybody else involved is starting to reach out and just getting the experience to try and qualify for a show. Like, I think that next level, it's unreal. You
mentioned there about Ireland's that and we're getting off the official Strongman train for a moment, looking at Ireland's. At Ireland's, you've always done very, very well. But you've always been, with all the respect in the world, you've always been just off the podium, so you've just been in that mid-table area. Does that play on your mind a little bit going into these big comps, or is it? Are you the sort of person that just goes, no, that's out of my mind, and I'm focused completely on this one?
My last one, I took my last Ireland's very bad. I had everything in my head that I was going to podium and get to the UK's. Everything should have been better and all the rest. I just come down on the day. And I did know there's a few close friends would know that I did sort of took a bad and sort of ghosted everybody for a week or two. But I pulled myself out of it. I have very good close friends and family that were able to chat to me and say, look, there's always next year, but when you're putting 3 or 4 hours a day training, turning down stuff to go training, putting everything on the line, and you just don't touch where you want. It's a big blow, but I'm still content. I've only, like I said, I've only been doing it a couple of years, and I'm still happy enough with my progression, and I can only just get better. So I'll hopefully have a big plan for next year too as well, and just try and compete and gain as much experience, because although I'm doing Strongman the 5 years, I think it's just more experience in these bigger comps. It's more than anything, that's what I think anybody needs, is experience.
And how difficult is it being a sort of open athlete? Because I've spoken to a couple of athletes here, Jack Harkin, for instance, Killian, that in Ireland, there hasn't been traditionally quite a lot of opportunities for open athletes. So it's been quite a difficult area to get experience at big comps with. Would you feel the same, or what way would you look at?
Oh no, they're 100% right there. There hasn't been an awful lot, and then you're sort of jumping from Ireland's in, and then there's OSG qualifier where you're going up against the best of the world, and you're still trying to be the best in Ireland, and then trying to get so instead of your stepping stone, you're just taking a massive jump straight forwards. Whereas you'd like to try and Ireland's, Europe's, that way, but it's just I'm not too sure why, but there wasn't actually a lot the last couple of years, but it seems to be on the mend now, and there's a lot more coming, and it's good to see. It's good to see for the sport too, because Matty's done the GSP and the open comps and that, and he's always done brilliant. I love Matty's shows, they're very well run.
You mentioned there that obviously you train with Matthew McKeegan and he's your coach. He's competing at this competition as well, and we will be talking to him in the next interview. Is that an advantage, actually being able to see Matthew's training as well? Or is it a disadvantage? Is there any benefit or negative to training with someone that you're going to compete against?
Well, me and Matthew's always trained together, and we him doing the 105 and me doing the open. There's never been much competition-wise. Matthew's a massive deadlift and overhead, which smokes mine, so I'll admit that. I did just maybe beat him in yoke, and we're pretty similar now. My grip will be a wee bit better, Matt, and that's all I can say. So if there was a farmers, maybe I might beat him in that. But no, it's great to see. Not even the fact that I've been able to train with your coach. They can actually see no better off, because I was training at Adrian Stones, and he would be able to say to me, no, tomorrow, right, you said you done that wrong. Next week, we'll do this. So it's good and bad, because you can both see each other's weaknesses and strengths.
I'll make sure to mention it to Matt that your grip is stronger, and we'll see what he says.
But he did everything else. And also, you can ask him to ask him about my run. He has a lot to say about my run between events. So between implements.
Well, I suppose we'll find out in 2 weeks.
I don't know if it has to be as nice as mine. So
now we talked about your prep. How are you feeling position-wise? Where would you be targeting? And I know that's quite a difficult question to actually answer, because you don't want to be too cocky probably, and you don't want to put yourself down. Have you thought about where you would be happy with finishing off? And are you looking at that first place going, no, that's within reach, that's for me?
Well, everybody's looking for a top spot, and it all comes down to on the day. Like I said, I've had preps where I've brilliant prep, and then like you said, then I've ended up mid-table. It could be anybody's on the day. It's a very well-rounded comp between static lifts, moving events. So, like, if Kevin McNamee was in the mix, he would take a lot of points off someone on yoke. You know what I mean? He would upset a lot of boys on yoke because he's so quick. So's the dog blowers. They're pretty quick, so they're doing that. They're pressing. If I didn't zero out and everything, it'd be brilliant for me. I would like to just get enough points and build it up. But I'm looking top 3 at least. I would be happy with. The top spot is going to be a really tough fight, because you've got Matthew, Killian, and Jack, which are phenomenal strongmen, and they're super strong. The two door blowers are brilliant as well. Pressing, yoke and stuff as well, and stones. I haven't seen much of their training and stuff, but I think to try and get into that top 3, it's going to be really tight. Plus, Care is, I would say, like a dark horse. He loves the banter, loves the chat, and we've been talking back and forth, and we're pretty similar. We like a couple of reps on the deadlift, see how it all goes. He is good at stones, and the yoke as well. Now he's coming along. So, like I said, it could be anybody's on the day. There's anybody to play for, and it just depends on how it fares out. I never done the full stone run this week. And it could just be on the day. It could be just a bit tired or a niggle here and there. It just depends. The deadlift, I would like a couple of reps in the deadlift. It would be brilliant. If I hit the 140, if I hit the 140 log, I'd be happy. It wouldn't be a PB, but it'd be an equal PB. Okay. And then, depending, then I have one more log session where I'm going to push it now and see how far I can go. So it all depends on the jumps from between. No, like the dog boys could turn around and say they want to go shoot the 160. I don't know if we're going to make everybody press the one and the one go. You know, obviously, so there's been no point of me pushing my log if they're going to go, I will just go 170. I'll just have it up as they call it there, 140. So it's playing smart too. There's no point me gassing myself out on an event where I could get ready and save energy for the next event.
How much of it is actually tactics and having a plan going in? Like, obviously, you're talking log and you have a plan for that. You look at all the events and have tactics taken into account.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The stones are right and heavy towards the end. Well, 180 open wise isn't extremely heavy, but like myself, I've lifted it a few times. But I think a fast 3 or 4 will be enough for good enough points. And then attempt a 180. The yoke as well, you want to try and do it as quick as possible. But like I said, there's other boys that's going to end up on their heels or you'll end up on theirs. The deadlift, massive deadlifters with Jacks pulling 350, Killian, Matt done 330, I think, the other day for 5 or 6 reps. The dogs as well are repping over compact. So that's what I'm saying. The deadlift for me is sort of it's not a weaker event now, but it'll not be an event I'm going to get a lot of points on. But as long as I got enough just to build up.
There was one question came in, and like everyone that watches my interviews knows I like to keep everything quite, relaxed and everything else. I don't like to put anyone on the spot, and I don't like to cause any controversy or anything. But I do feel like I have to ask this question that was sent in, and you don't have to answer it, but someone asked, what's it like being the prettiest strongman in Ireland?
Most of them for somebody else, because it's definitely not me. I'm rough as a bag of earth most times.
That came in from Damien McLaughlin, so...
Sure, I would say that's right, Damon. I think Damon, he says, wears his Thas glasses all the time, I think, maybe. I was expecting a lot worse. Going by some of the friends I've made over time on Instagram through Strongman, I was expecting a lot worse, a lot more slagging than that. So we'll take that.
Oh, well, I obviously asked for different questions on Instagram over basically today, and we got quite a lot of questions. But of course, for anybody outside Ireland, Irish people don't ask serious questions. It's just abuse and just having the crack, really. So yeah, that's the only PG question I could ask you, really.
And the rest will be seen as insults, but not to us, but to anybody across the water. But I think it's a bit harsh.
Now, the psychological aspect when you go into competitions like this, I think everyone, when they're building up to a comp, unless you're extremely lucky, you will have bad training days and stuff like that. And like we mentioned before, previous comps sometimes play on your mind as well. How do you deal with the psychological aspect, or would that be something that doesn't really bother you that much?
Mental-wise, it can be tough. Like I get my program and I look sometimes and say, geez, I have to do, like next week I have a top 3 rep max, and I could spend, that's a Monday, and I could spend all day Sunday thinking, will I do this? No, because it might be a bit too hard. Will I do that? No, it could be too easy. No. So when you're trying to engage in, that's what I mean, that I have sometimes some sets that sit in my head for a week. And then other times I can land on the gym and just do it. I think it just depends on, it is your confidence. Like today we were talking about for the stones, I was able to one or two of the first stones, but it's a massive confidence thing where I would usually be like, no, I can do it. Yeah. But after I got warmed up and got on it, I went, no, you know what, I'd say I probably could have, but just tried. But like I said, it's just it's more like a confidence thing when the comps that we were talking about. going on it, if you're out first, you have to go balls to walls and hope nobody else beats you. If you're going out, you're going to go right, maybe get 10 reps, so we'll have to do 11. So it's just a confidence thing of who's going to better you. So just trying to make sure that you're giving it your all is the best way, but then leaving it where you're not going to. So if I went out and pulled 4 really hard reps on the deadlift, and someone at 5, and I got 4.5, well, that half a rep that I nearly died on could be wrecked the rest of the comp.
Because obviously, yeah, that's a very important point, that you don't want to waste energy. And we constantly say this on the commentary, that you see people sometimes go in for that last rep, and you can see by the look on their face, they know they're not going to get it, but they sort of feel pressured. Oh, I better go in and do another rep. And it's just wasted energy, and that can have a knock-on effect for the rest of the comp. I don't want to jinx you or anything. How is the body holding up? Has there been any niggles, or have you been fairly decent with it?
Lower body wise has been my posterior chain. My right hamstring has been playing up through the loading. It's just the sprinting back and forward and the carrying. Everything else seems fine. Touch wood. So it's been a good prep, but this now at the minute, everything's sore. 2 weeks out from a massive comp when you're pushing hard, and it's the same as wrestling, everybody's still working, still have their lives outside. So trying to fit everything in and getting on with your day, you're just constantly in pain. Not like people would probably hear that, but like, why would you do that if you're in pain? But you're just constantly sore when you're walking. Your knees are sore now because of yoke. Your back's nipping with the deadlifts and everything else. It's just strongman. If you don't do it, you don't understand. Like someone listening to this now will be like, that sport's crazy. Why would you want to walk around sore all the time? But at the same time, man, if I wasn't sore, I'd be going, I'm not training hard enough. No, if I didn't have any extra pains, or was like, geez, I can't wait to this comp's over now and get a break. I know I haven't trained hard enough.
Yeah, it's part of the fun. If you're not
in
pain all the time, there's something wrong. Like,
well, if you're not sore, don't get me wrong. Obviously, there's injury sore and then sore as in fatigued and stuff. There's a massive difference in that too that some people just don't understand either. Like people like, my arms are sore yesterday on 10 sets of 10 curls. That's just because your arms are fucked. There's someone else to do that. You're not going to benefit from it, but like if you're running with a yoke, like your 400 yoke, your knees are going to be sore the next day, your hips will be tight, and you're going to wake up and try to get out of your bed and you go, nah, I'll sit here for 10 minutes. That's a big indicator. I have my physio every Wednesday morning. We care of Fulton and Buncana and Bodyworks, and she would say, geez, your legs are tight today, look, they're really bad. And I would say, I have done heavy deadlifts, yoke, and the load medley, and that's what she would say. Well, if you didn't feel like this now, there'd be something wrong. So close to a comp, you should be showing signs of fatigue.
And so we've obviously looked at this comp, and obviously the main focus of this is to look at this comp. But just for everyone out there that would like to follow you and see how you're progressing, after this comp, what have you got on the card? So I don't know if you've got anything else this year, but next year, is there a particular target you're going for?
I'd love to do the Strong Cup because I missed it last year. And then Ireland's as usual. But I want to see how I get on this comp first, because that could completely change. Like if you get an invite to a massive show, then you don't want to focus on anything else. You'd rather just put all your efforts on that big show. Better be walk out with McGowan written in your back on TV and Giants Live. That's like the dream. That's the start of the way forward.
I think for every Irish athlete, and definitely for the athletes that are going to be competing at the Irish Championships, that is the dream. That's what everyone is looking at, going, a Giants Live show. That's where we want to be, because it is the pinnacle of the sport, to be fair. We've got a lot of people that, like I say, would like to follow on with your journey. you have an Instagram page, I think.
Yeah,
is
sure.
That's the best place for them to follow you, I'm guessing?
Instagram, anything else. So don't really be active on much other social media, but Instagram's more for my lifting logs and stuff, and any clamp videos or anything like that.
And what's your Instagram sort of handle?
Kjell_McGowan1 off the top of my head, I think it's that.
Don't worry, I will put it in down below. Just for anyone, I will check it up after this and we'll put it in. So anybody that is interested, click on over to Instagram and give a follow, because I always say this for any of the athletes, it's such a help having people follow them, because obviously sponsors keep an eye on that, and it's an expensive sport to
travel, foods, anything, you name it all adds up. Like it's not a team sport, but if I didn't do it, you know what I mean? There's a love for it, and everyone, if you like it enough, you'll do it. Doesn't matter how much it costs.
That's very true. Very, very true. So thank you very much for joining us, Kyle. And I think everyone out there is wishing you the best of luck. I'm really excited to see you compete on the day. It's actually the first time I'll actually get to see you compete, because I was down at the Strom Cup last year, but obviously not doing it then. So it is the first time I get to see you compete. So hopefully that podium will have your name on it by the end of the day.
It'll be a good comp. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the fight anyways to get there.
Perfect. Thank you very much for joining me, Kyle. And we'll see everyone else in the next interview, which is coming up in a couple of days.
Brilliant. Thank you.